In 2019, I traveled all the way to a village on the outskirts of Hyderabad after getting to know that some of the villagers there complained of sighting ghosts and also engaging with them. There was so much fear in the hearts of these villagers that they stopped venturing out in the evenings. To put an end to this terror, a rationalist was brought in who spent a night in the exact spot where the villagers complained of ghost sightings. We covered this incident and wrote about the service of this rationalist who later invited us to be a part of their next mission, that was spending a night in a graveyard with their team. Unfortunately, we couldn't accept the offer. This is Rahul Devlapalli, special correspondent with The Week. We are going to talk about another fascinating person with a similar profile who is a teacher during the day and a ghostbuster during the night. Or rather, in this context, he is the buster of the myth of the ghost. In the first week of July, a government teacher and a rationalist, Nuthal Ravindar, was teaching class 7 students at his government school in Ahmedabad district in Telangana. And all of a sudden, there was a strong wind because of which some of the branches shook, scaring the students. Now the students immediately believed that it was the work of the ghost, and they were scared, terrified. They immediately felt like they wanted to leave the campus. Now for the next few hours, Ravinder spent his time patiently arguing, debating, and trying to put his views forward that it was not an act of any supernatural powers, but rather just an act of nature. When I spoke to Ravinder at length, he told me that he was surprised that the students were driven so much by superstitions and misconceptions. The students didn't listen to the teacher and argued and confidently that there was some mysterious ghost at work in the school premises. Now, the teacher Ravinder struck a deal with the students. He told them that if he spends the night in the school and comes out alive scratchless, then it means that there are no ghosts and they should stop talking about it. And in case he comes out harmed, then it means he has lost the bet, and then the students can think and act however they want. This incident happened on July 2nd, and Ravinder tells me that on the night of July 5th, he went to the school armed with a torchlight, a bag of books, and a bed sheet, and a water bottle to see him through the night. And he requested his students to come to the school gate and drop him off so that they are also assured that he is indeed spending the night in the school. So by 8:30, he was inside his school, inside the classroom, which was considered to be haunted. And from 8:30 to 11 in the night, he said he studied, he read books. After 11, he fell asleep, only to get up at 6 in the morning. When I asked him how was his sleep, he said it was fantastic. It was like any other day. And at 6, he saw some of the students, curious students, coming to the campus and seeing if he was fine, he was all right. And he came out and then he won. So he says that one of the students actually came to him and confided that he left that school and joined a private school only because he thought it was haunted. Now, this student said he no more believes that the school is in the grip of the ghost. Ravinder did something more commendable. What he did was he asked one of the students to record a short video of his while he is inside the room and trying to sleep, so that it can be shown the next day to rest of the students, mostly girls who couldn't come that night and see him entering the school. That's what he did, and according to him, it worked. Ravinder is this unsung hero who refused to publicize his act. The word got out, and that's when the media covered his story. Now, this is not the first time he did something like that. He shared another interesting story similar to this one, which happened few years back in another village in Ahmedabad district. In that particular village, in a government school, and it was a government residential school, one of the girls shouted at night and got up and showed to other students and teachers that there was a scratch on her hand. There was some kind of a small injury, cut on her hand, which made all the students and even the staff believe that there was a ghost, it was haunted. And by next day, half of the hostel got empty, as most of the students left, didn't want to stay in that particular hostel. Now Ravinder got to know about this as the local teacher had called him, the teacher of that particular school called Ravinder, and sought his help. Ravinder went to that school. He, along with his like-minded members of the rationalist group, they felt that it's better to spend the night like they always do. So he slept that night, and he also experienced something similar. In the middle of the night, he saw that someone has scratched his arm. So he immediately put out his torch and he switched on the torch and checked and found a kitten. Now, the kitten was trying to enter through the window into the hostel, so that from there it could proceed towards the mess. And the route it would take was through the students. So, so it would occasionally scratch the students and proceed towards the canteen. This is what he got to know. So when he called all the students, teachers, staff, and shared this story with them, he said that they were overwhelmed and they were relieved, and the school functioned normally from the next day onwards. Ravinder is a simple man who was born and raised in one of the most backward and rural parts of Telangana, but his contribution to society is immense and invaluable. His only aim is to make sure that young minds do not fall prey to unnecessary, unfounded superstitions and misconceptions.